Hey everyone, welcome back to another Mattel Jurassic World review. Today we're taking a look at the Camp Cretaceous Attack Pack Troodon. Oh, and it's giveaway time, so tune in to the end of the video to see how you can win this Battle Damage Plesiosaurus. So getting back to this figure, the Troodon is the newest species to appear in the Jurassic World line. This figure started showing up in other countries over the last month or so, and there was a lot of question if this was going to show up in the US. I actually got this figure from a Canadian collector friend. He sent it to me last week when he found one at Walmart up there. But the good news is this is actually being found in the US as of this week. Ted Brothers ended up finding the wave at Publix at the supermarket down south, and people have been starting to find this set at Target. So that is good news for us US collectors. And if my memory serves me correctly, I believe this is the last wave of Attack Pack figures. I heard Attack Packs are going to be rolled into the Savage Strike line, starting with Dino Escape, which is actually good news. Attack Packs have been really spotty over the last year or so. Walmart barely carries them. I think they have them like marked down to $2 and they never stock them. And same thing with Target. They only have a very small, Jurassic World display. So if this line is rolled into Savage Strike, that frees up that very valuable shelf space. So that should make going forward finding these newer figures a lot easier. So let's just go over the packaging really quick before we crack this cool looking figure open. Comes in the Jurassic World Camp Cretaceous style packaging that we've been seeing since the beginning of the summer. You got the Netflix logo up here, Camp Cretaceous background on the back of the packaging, Toro the Carnotaurus, along with some of the kids from the show. And turning around, you get pictures of the other figures available in this Attack Pack wave. The Troodon, the repaint of the Dimorphodon, the retro repaint of the Gallimimus, which is one I am highly anticipating. I am loving that Mattel is doing retro repaints of the Kenner figures. Hopefully someday down the line we get a retro repaint of the Red Rex. And of course Bumpy. Bumpy is making an appearance on the line for the third straight wave because they just want to jam that baby Ankylosaurus down our throats, which will probably be an adult by the middle of season 2, the way that thing grows. So anyways, enough about the packaging. Let's crack this figure open. So let's start out with a nice 360-degree view of the Troodon. This is a really cool looking figure. Actually, when I first saw the promotional images, it looked very cartoony. It actually looked like an animated version of a dinosaur. But I have to say, this figure looks so much better in hand. Has a lot of beautiful scale detail on it, and the paint job is really well done. The paint scheme is actually based off the Troodon's appearance in the Telltales Jurassic Park, the game, and I think they did a great job capturing that. I kind of wish I had those big bug glowing eyes and just gave this figure a glow-in-the-dark feature. I feel like it's a huge missed opportunity. I think that would have been absolutely fantastic. But other than that, this figure looks great. It's a nice homage to the Troodon that appeared in the game. So let's just do a couple quick measurements on this figure. This figure is just about 6.5 inches long from the tip of the tail to the tip of the snout, and about 2 3/4 inches tall. So Troodon in real life was 6 to 8 feet long. So I'll put this figure somewhere in the 111 to the 114 scale range. So let's zoom in and take a look at some of the finer details on this figure, starting with this really nice head sculpt. I have to say, Mattel has really amped up the amount of detail they put on their sculpts with Primal Attack, and this Troodon really shows that off. You got some beautiful scale detail along the lower jaw. You have a mix of large and small scales. You have this really nice fine pebbly scales all over the body. With some of the older Attack Packs, the sculpts just had like some wrinkles on it and not real much scale detail, so these really look great in hand. The eyes painted a bright yellow with a black pupil, and I'm happy to say both eyes are painted correctly. Every time I get a figure in and I can't see the other side of it, my butt puckers a little bit because I have no idea what the eye is going to look like. I've gotten screwed so many times, especially on the rare figures. I got the Gasosaurus and the Battle Damage Plesiosaurus, and the eyes are all wonky on that, so this really irritates me, and I really hope Mattel gets that quality control issue under control, but I'm happy that this Troodon has two nice looking eyes. The teeth are painted in off-white color. Inside the mouth, the tongue is painted pink. Roof of the mouth is gray, just like the plastic that the main figure is sculpted in. You have this sail, like a set of fins or quills on top of his head that are painted in black. Same thing on the back. Main body is cast in a light gray color, and you have all this bright pink underneath for the lower jaw, throat, and stomach. Stops just before the tail starts. And then going down to the hands. Hands are nicely sculpted. They aren't pronated, which is really, really nice. You get more of that scale detail and folds and wrinkles on there. Hand claws aren't painted, but that's pretty typical for the Attack Pack and Savage Strike line. Same thing with the toe claws. Not painted in, but the Killing Claw is nicely sculpted. And you can see there's a little bit of pink mixed in with this gray plastic. You can see little flecks of it here and there just to give it a little bit more definition. And since we got the figure lifted up, here is the scan code if you want to scan this into the fax app. And then going down to the tail, you actually do have some paint at the end of the tail. You got more of that bright pink color. So all in all, a really cool looking figure. I am really digging this gray and black color scheme, and I think the pink just makes this figure pop. And let's just go over articulation really quick. Nothing crazy, pretty standard for the attack pack line. The mouth can close and open. It fits pretty flush. You do have a joint for the head. Can look up that far, can look down that far. Arms can move forwards and backwards. Hind legs can move backwards and forwards about that far before it starts to hit the stomach region. And the tail should be able to rotate, but it's incredibly tight on mine. I'm probably gonna have to hit this thing with a hairdryer to soften up that tail joint, but the tail swivel on these figures are absolutely pointless, so I probably just won't do anything. So let's move on with some comparisons. First up is one of the human figures, John Hammond. You can see this Troodon is way too big to scale with the human figures. Troodon in real life probably came up no higher than the elbows. And next up is the attack pack Moosaurus. And next is the Savage Strike Scutosaurus. And next is the Sound Strike Sinoceratops. And next is the Battle Damage 2.0 Albertosaurus. And lastly, because I happen to have it transformed on the studio, Transformers Kingdom Beast Wars Megatron. And I really hope the rumors are true that they're going to repaint this figure into Rexy for a Jurassic Park crossover. I will be so excited for that. So final thoughts on this figure. It's very refreshing to see a new species since we haven't seen any in the last few months. It's just been a sea of repaints. And from what I see, from the new Camp Cretaceous stuff that's been popping up the last couple weeks or so, we are in store for a lot more repaints. I'm sure there's new figures coming. They're probably coming when Dino Escape starts. But yeah, a lot of repaints in our future. So it's really nice to have a new species. I think this figure turned out really great. So moving on to what probably most of you are here for, let's talk about this giveaway. So I am giving away a Battle Damage Plesiosaurus. This figure is kind of rare, especially within the US. It barely saw a release. I actually found this figure over a year ago at Burlington Coat Factory. They just happened to get that wave in because Walmart just flat out refuses to stock the Battle Damage line for whatever reason. So I pick up a lot of figures on clearance, and I have a bunch of Jurassic World stuff downstairs that I was planning to use on repaints, and I'm just not repainting as much as I would like lately, and it's just sitting there collecting dust. So this is my way of giving back to my fans of the channel. So to enter this giveaway, right now this is just only available to U.S. residents. Shipping is just kind of a pain right now with the pandemic going on. International shipping is just so expensive, but I will eventually incorporate giveaways for the international fans of this channel. Just bear with me, it's coming soon. So all you need to do to enter this giveaway is just use the hashtag SaveJW Battle Damage, because it's a shame what Walmart is doing with this line. They just show no interest in stocking. It's been over a year since we've seen any new figures on the shelf. It's been an absolute nightmare to track these figures down. So just use that hashtag once in your comments. If you use it more than once, you are disqualified from the giveaway. And there's more in-depth rules in the description of this video, so definitely check those out before you enter. This giveaway will end on January 26th, 2021 at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. At that time, I'll use a random comment generator to pick the winner, and I'll notify them through their email just to get their shipping address. The shipping is on me. So that would do it for the review. Hopefully I tracked down some of the new Camp Cretaceous stuff that is coming out, like the new Plesiosaurus and Monolophosaurus. Seems like those are popping up at Target on the West Coast. Probably take a couple weeks before they show up on the East Coast in my area. So as always, if you're enjoying the content on this channel, show your support by hitting that subscription button just below the video. Each subscription helps out the channel tremendously, and it's greatly appreciated. And I'll see you guys for the next one.